Many Canadians are unaware of the dynamic nature of the Canadian Constitution. Many think of only the Charter when the Constitution is mentioned, but the Constitution is so much more than that. It has a storied past that started way back in 1867 with the passing of the British North America Act. The British North America Act was passed by the British Parliament, and the Act created Canada at the time of Confederation. It was the union of Ontario, Quebec, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick. Canada is now comprised of 10 provinces and 3 territories. Since then, the Constitution Act 1982 was passed. This major step in Canadian history had many significant implications. It allowed Canadians to finally amend their own constitution. Canada no longer required the consent of Britain to amend their own constitution. The Act also entrenched the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. The Charter protects Canadian citizens against the state. It is the source of many of our freedoms, such as the freedom of religion and expression. However, many of our rights under the Charter are subject to Section 1. This section gives the state the right to limit our freedoms and rights in circumstances where it is justified. The Charter is an important document for Canadians to understand. However, the Constitution is so much more than just the Charter. Unlike our neighbors to the south, and many other common law countries, our Constitution is not just a single document. Not only does it include the Constitution Acts of 1867 and 1982, but also 24 other constitutional documents. All of these documents include things like the amending formulas for the Constitution, the division of powers between federal and provincial governments, and acts and orders for the 6 provinces that joined Canada after 1867. However, the interpretation of these texts do not stay frozen in time. In the famous Persons case, the Privy Council decided that women were persons under the law. Lord Sankey famously wrote that the British North America Act planted in Canada a living tree, capable of growth and expansion within its natural limits. This ensures that the Canadian Constitution will continue to grow and evolve in accordance with Canadian values. The Court has since identified many unwritten constitutional principles that underlie the text of the Canadian Constitution. These principles influence the architecture of the Canadian Constitution. Examples of these principles are the rule of law, federalism, democracy, and respect for minorities. The Canadian Constitution is continually being interpreted by the courts, and it continues to grow and evolve over time. As we move forward, it is important for Canadians to have a basic understanding of the Constitution. We encourage you to continue to learn about the foundational laws of our great country.